Welcome, Bryan Series Legacy Society members and sponsors. I'm Jeff Blackley, Executive Chef within Guilford College Dining Services. Today we're going to make some great holiday biscotti cookies. What I'm going to do today is go through the ingredients and the process of what it takes to make biscotti from scratch in your home kitchen. It's great as gifts, cookies for your friends and families. Let's begin. Okay, so the first step in this process is to coarsely chop toasted almonds. And so you can buy toasted almonds at most of the grocery stores around. One thing to note is that the recipe I'm making is slightly larger than the recipe that you guys have, but the process is exactly the same. So we're just gonna pulse this a few times. Next, we're going to combine some ingredients in the mixer using a beater attachment. And you're basically going to cream together the sugar, the salt, the baking powder, the cinnamon, and the flour all together until it resembles kind of like a coarse pea mixture. Here, I'll show you. So this is the consistency that we want for the butter and flour mixture. This means that the butter is properly incorporated and we can add our almonds. We're just going to stir the almonds around a little bit before we add our wet ingredients. Wow, that smells great. So now we're going to add the vanilla extract, the oil, and the eggs. We're going to continue to mix until it comes together as a dough. And one thing that's important is that all ovens are different and flours vary a little bit. So you may need to add a little bit of flour. And I'm going to show you the proper consistency so you can kind of look at it and tell if it needs a little bit more flour. So the consistency should be of a loose dough. And what we're going to do is we're going to scoop it out of the bowl. We're going to put it onto a table. We're going to flour it lightly and just make sure that it's kneaded properly so that it comes together so we can form it into loaves. Okay, so we've gently kneaded the dough until it comes together. And we're going to lightly flour it so it's easier to handle. Now in your recipe, you're just going to cut your loaf in half. It's going to come out to a 1 pound loaf. And we're just going to shape it. And I'm going to take you through that process right now. I've got a parchment paper lined sheet pan that we're just going to take and put our loaf onto. And we're just going to press it out to a 9-inch length. So it should be about 9 inches. And then we're going to press it until it's 5 to 6 inches wide. It's only going to be about a 1/2 inch thick. Here, let's work on it and I'll show you the final product. All right, so what we've got is a loaf here that weighs 1 pound. It's about 5 inches wide, 5.5 maybe, and then it's 9 inches long. And this is important because it's going to rise up, and the way that it bakes when you slice it, it's going to produce long, slender cookies, and that's what we're looking for. We're going to bake this at 340 degrees for about 20 minutes. Now, it's important to note that all ovens are different, so it may take a little bit shorter time or a little bit longer time. The important thing is that I'm going to show you the final product and the consistency and how it should look. So this is our finished product. You'll notice that it's slightly brown all over. It hasn't spread a whole lot. It's just the perfect shape to slice into biscotti slices. And we want it still warm, but cold enough to handle so that we can slice it. All right, so at this point, we want to slice this loaf and prepare it for a second baking. And we're going to discard the end pieces. They're tasty bits, and you can use those for snacking on. We want to cut it right so that it's about 1 inch. It's important to make sure that all the slices are consistent so that they bake at the same rate the second time. So we're just going to slice these up. So now we're ready for the second bake. And we're going to put these in the oven at 320 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes. Again, all ovens are different, so keep a good eye on them. You want them lightly browned. So at this point, our biscotti is perfectly cooked a second time. When it comes out of the oven, it's going to be a little bit soft, but it's going to dry as it cools so that it's a nice crisp texture. It won't be a compact, dense cookie. It'll be a nice texture that's crumbly with the coarse almonds that we did earlier in the recipe. So what we're going to do now is just garnish these with some basic chocolate. It's a dark chocolate. Don't skimp on it. You know, get a nice dark 60% cocoa chocolate that melts easily, and you'll reap the benefits of it later. So we're just going to dip these real quick. Sprinkle some almonds on there. And then just set them upside down so that they can cool off. They're going to dry just like that, and it's going to be delicious. All right, so we've done chocolate and almonds, but the possibilities are limitless of the decorations. What I've got here is some white chocolate with crushed peppermint for a nice holiday twist there. This is pistachios and white chocolate. Obviously, you could do dark chocolate. Any type of nuts would be great. Any type of candies, even Oreo crumbs go well. This is a very versatile cookie, and you guys can enjoy it several different ways. Guys, that's our demonstration for biscotti cookies. I hope that you can enjoy this recipe with your friends and family over the holidays. Thanks for spending some time with us here at Guilford Dining.